Okay. Okay.
Okay.
We're back, I guess.
Hi.
I
Again.
um when was our last episode? Like 2 months ago? I don't know. What the heck?
Probably. Yeah, like July or
Oh
something.
my god. Because
Oh
well,
man.
we'll get to talking after we do the intro. Um, which I have
Yeah.
this time. So
Cool. Somehow I never have it. So good you're prepared.
okay. Hi everyone. This is Chelsea and Sonica. Welcome to Armbridge Podcast, or welcome back. Where we dismantle the system like the revolutionaries we are, one podcast episode at a time. Today is September 5th. I don't even know what last week's episode was. Like, oh, no, well, not last week. Last episode was, but it's fine. We're here now. Um,
Yeah. You remember that tweet you sent that was like our podcast is a slow descent into madness?
yeah. We're,
I feel like that's coming very true. It's just like maybe we manifested that or something because the further we get into this, the more it's just like what's going on?
we're just descending at this point. We don't know where. Um,
Yeah.
not that not that our podcast is declining in quality. It's just, um, hopefully, I mean,
The world is declining in quality.
wow, that was a hot take. Very hot take there, Sonica. Um,
I
we
don't know if I'm gonna keep that,
Um,
but
we have been absent for a bit because, like, we were both working over the summer, and then I moved out, or in like early August, and then Sonica, you moved out like mid-August. So we're both like,
yes.
we both had a well-rested hiatus, and now we're back.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, the backdrop is different, um, for me and for
Yeah.
Sonica. So this is the first episode of many that we'll be doing from our respective locations. It's the international it's an international episode today.
It's an international episode.
Because I'm in
I think
Canada,
all of
so
these are gonna be international episodes now.
yeah, what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
This is not a unique experience.
Wow, exciting.
You know? Um,
Armbridge goes global.
yeah, who knows where we'll go next, honestly. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. It's been a while since we've like recorded and like sat down just to talk like this.
It
Yeah.
has.
Um, but I guess like one thing that we can talk about is like I think you kind of got me onto this experience, but like listening to albums in full and in order has changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd never want to listen to music as a single anymore. Like I have this the experience is so good. Like I don't understand why I didn't get onto this like earlier.
Right. No, yeah, I think we touched on this in like an earlier episode where like I mentioned it briefly for like one of our episodes earlier. But no, yeah, it's like I think I said it like this I quoted this pretty much I'm going to quote myself pretty much directly as I said it during that episode itself, but I was mentioning it's like it's escapism in the same way a book is, where it's like you're just kind of transported to that world for like an hour or so, and I just think it's the coolest thing. And it's funny because I was also thinking like to older generations this probably sounds so like stupid because it's like a problem or not a problem, but it's like a thing that was created by streaming exclusively, right? So because of like streaming services, um, listening to things in like a playlist format or like as singles rather than as like full length albums, that's become more of a thing. And yeah, no, I agree that like kind of reverting back to listening to albums in order as they're supposed to be listened to is so nice.
Um yeah, wait. Well, just for like the listeners out there, my roommate's bought a keyboard, so if you hear residual noise, it's not bad. It's if anything, it's like good residual noise. It's my roommate's playing the keyboard.
Yeah, we're being serenaded.
Yes. But no, yeah, anyway, like yeah, I think it's so like immersive because you learn so much about the artist and you can kind of craft like a story or some form of like understanding of their style. Like it's so interesting to see that progression
Mm-hmm.
like from beginning to end, and with like a lot of albums too, they have like intros, outros, and like um interludes,
Interludes.
which before I didn't get the
Mm-hmm.
point of, but that's because you have to listen to the album in order for you to fully experience the transitions of different songs. Like
Mm-hmm.
this was a few days ago, but I listened to Chromatica, and there was a transition in that album. I think it was from Chromatica 2 to 911. Oh my god. I I was like I was on I mean, if I had more floor in my area, my room is very small. But if I had more floor, I would be on the floor like sobbing. It was so good. The
It
transition.
was so good. If y'all haven't listened to it, one, go listen to it like in order. Two, it's like they blend into each other, if that makes sense. So like the end of Chromatica 2 is the beginning of 911, which was even when I first listened to it, I was like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing. Like, yeah, no commentary left to add, but it was so cool. It was such an experience. I love Chromatica for that.
It's
But
it's so good.
mhm.
Like I I don't go clubbing. Like but if there were like some club that would play Chromatica in order, I would go.
Just Chromatica for the full
I
hour.
would
No,
go.
I would
Oh
100%
my
join.
god, it's so good. It's such a good album.
Hmm.
And
If touring becomes a thing anytime soon, I want to go to Lady Gaga's tour
oh
for
my god.
Chromatica because I feel like
Oh my god.
that would be like an out of body experience.
Dude, it's it has like the same energy as like Planet Her in terms of like an immersive
Yeah.
journey, or
Hmm.
like the concept of Planet Her is very that was like the first, like I started listening to albums in order around last month, and so Planet Her was like the first one that I tried to do it. Like I tried to
Hmm.
listen in order, and the concept of like being on a different planet with different worlds, like that's how I treated every song. I was like, oh, that's so interesting because
Yes.
it's so cohesive yet
Hmm.
it's so like different. Like you can
Each
experiment.
song is unique still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas like Chromatica, like the genre was the same for pretty much all the songs, but it was still very much like um it still like caught my attention, even though I don't listen to like house music or
Hmm.
like electronic dance type stuff. So it was
No,
very
yeah, same
interesting.
here. I'm not super big on like that genre either, but Lady Gaga.
Just it was camp, it was
Chef kiss.
avant-garde. Oh my god. It's really also
Go her. No, kind of like continuing this train of thought a little bit. What are your favorite albums to listen to in order? Like your favorite ones that you've listened to an album in order so
mm,
far?
um my gosh, I have a list that like maybe I could pull up because I've been tracking them meticulously. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't even like I feel like I'm treating it sort of like an experiment for my own purposes. Like what do I like and what am I listening to? Um I've finished a lot. So I finished Planet Her, Point of View
Mm-hmm.
You by Yu Gyeom, Golden Hour by Casey Musgraves, To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick
I still need to
Lamar,
listen
Chromatica,
to
as
it.
I
Mm-hmm.
said, Igor, Tyler the Creator, and Whack World by Tierra Whack, which was really cool. That one was really cool. Um,
Cool.
but
Really, I'll listen to it too.
uh, I thought that Golden Hour was really good. Like it almost made me cry. It was such a like wonderful. It was
Aww.
just a very sweet like um album because like I think my roommate was also telling me like that um Casey Musgraves made the album around the time she got married. And so looking at the songs
Uh-huh.
and stuff through that perspective of like being in love, like, you know, when you first get
Aww.
married, I was like, oh, that's so interesting.
Right.
And so I try to think about like
Oh, that's really
what
sweet.
is the musician going through at this time that they make this like project. So um that
Mm-hmm.
really enhances the
Nice.
experience.
The
Yeah.
experience. No, yeah, for sure. Like when you could put yourself in their shoes and kind of listen to it through that perspective. It's really interesting. I think personally for me, there are a couple overlaps. So Point of View You,
Oh,
lovely. All of the songs, fantastic. Chef's Kiss, great job
wow.
you do. Also Planet Her and Chromatica as well. I think another album that I really enjoy listening to in order is Epic High Was Here.
Oh.
Um, that one was just phenomenal. My goodness. And then finally, oh, this one's new. Okay, so more on that in a little bit, but Darkroom by
Oh,
Simon D. Oh, girl.
oh,
Don't even get me started on that. Okay, so a little backstory, I guess. So well, this is like I feel bad talking
just
about
talk
it
about it. Just talk
because
about
there's
it.
a whole tragedy behind it.
Just talk.
We can elaborate on that in a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But I watched the AOMG online concert. I think last Saturday,
Mhm.
and I listened to most of the. I like already knew most of the artists beforehand, but Simon Dominic, I didn't get to his music before the concert because like my classes had just started and stuff, and so that concert was like first impression, right? And also, mind you, it was like 6 in the morning. I was like super sleep deprived, like in my pajamas, watching from my laptop, just like hunched over, eye bag. You get the picture,
Mhm.
right? And it's like his performance, the first act came up, and it's like the sun hasn't risen. This whole like setup super weird, and I just feel my third eye opening. I'm like, oh my god, who is he? So the grip that this man's music has had on me over the past week is not okay.
Uh,
It's so good. My God, Darkroom is fantastic. Like okay, this is like forget song of the week. Album of the week is Darkroom. Go listen to it and then like cry with me. It's so I just okay, like commentary has left my brain. There's no words left here, but genuinely, it's just like as an artist, his versatility, the creativity, like just all aspects of it is so good.
it's so interesting.
The lyricism, oh my
It's so
goodness,
good. Um,
he's so talented. I cannot believe I hadn't discovered his
yeah.
music beforehand.
It's I think Darkroom is one of his more like to my understanding, one of his more underrated projects. I know his album or EP after that, which was oh my gosh, I forget. That one was like really popular, I think last year or 2 years ago. But
Mm-hmm.
Darkroom was like there wasn't a lot of like publicity around that project. So I listened to it because you okay, well like backtracking to the day of the AOMG concert, bro. Then um okay, like full disclosure, it is legal to drink where I am here in Ontario. You have to be 19. So I went to a bar with my roommates. Like I drank like a little bit, but I was mostly having water, like the free water that they had at the bar because I was like I don't like this. And I was out
As
very
you
late.
should hydrate.
Um my
Mm-hmm.
neighbor invited us to go to a frat party and I decided to go home. I was like this is my cue to leave. I'm going to leave.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
And so it was very late, and I woke up like at 9, and Sonic was like texting me like, "Wake up!" And I was like, "Holy shit, I missed the concert." Um, but
I
like,
felt so bad. I was like watching it and I was like,
yeah, no, it's okay.
but
Like, the VOD or like the recording is coming out, but I'm still really upset to this day. Um,
oh.
no, but yeah, either way, Darkroom I think is probably one of the best. Just like I guess like being a fan of Korean hip hop for this long, like it's one of the best like projects I've like heard just in my
Ever
span.
heard, right? In the genre as a whole.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
like
for
it
real.
just gives off the energy of like being at a house party and not wanting to be there. I was like, this
Mm-hmm.
is so like interesting. It's so like, introspective of like um if you know that's the song that was really popular. It was Zico's Any Song, I think.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like that song was a lot it was, like the lyrics were a lot very like focused on like being somewhere and not wanting to be there, but like just put any song on, I'm
Mm-hmm.
just going to be at this party like not caring about it or just being like kind of detached from it. And so the album gave off that kind of vibe where it's like I don't know, it's just very it was very interesting to listen to because it was like kind of hype at the beginning and then the middle was kind of sad and then the end was hype again. I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like a party like winding up and then winding down at the very end. That's how I thought about it.
I can see that. For me, I took it a little differently, but now that you point that out, I can definitely get that as well. For me, it was more of like a comfort album. Like I feel like all the songs are still relatively like mellow. So for me, it was like, especially because the lyrics are really sad too, right? It's one of those albums where I could play it and I could just like get in my feels and I could just like be sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
overall, yeah, you're right. Like Simon Dominic's like versatility is just unmatched.
That's for real.
Like
I'm literally like forcing my music taste on all my friends. I'm like, hey, have you heard of him? I think you should listen to his music.
like
And it's been working so far. I'm spreading the word.
that's good.
So,
That's good.
Mr. Simon D, if you get any extra streams from my area, just know that this is my dude.
In the Dallas area, an influx of just like, huh, really random, but okay. Yeah.
It's me. You're welcome.
Yeah, like every now and then, I guess within Korean hip hop, you'll find those like types of introspective, um, like
Hidden
musicians.
gems.
Yeah, like I think I recommended an album to you. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like Darkroom.
I think I got halfway through listening to it, but I was like studying at the same
Oh
time, so I
no,
want to like sit down with
that's
it
fine.
again
That's fine.
and like absorb.
Understandable. But yeah,
But no, it was really good so
yeah,
far.
that album just so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Anyway,
Cool.
yeah.
I think this conversation has run its course. Do we have anything else we would like to add on, or are we ready for our next topic?
We can talk about the next thing.
Cool. What's the next thing?
Oh, great. This was our like original podcast topic, but like how was your move into your place right now?
Right. I mean, it was pretty like smooth, I guess, because I already moved on campus last semester, so I'm kind of like used to the process by now. But man, is it so nice to see people again. Like, y'all don't understand. My little extroverted self was suffering because of the pandemic. And so the fact that I can like talk to people, y'all, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm so happy right now. I was telling Chelsea, we went to this one event, like me and a couple of my friends, we went to this one event like last week sometime, and I got to talk to like, don't worry, we were just like outdoors, we were all masked, you know, precautions were taken, but I got to talk to like 15, 20 some people, and I came home and I was just buzzing with energy. I was like, wow, this is what I've been missing for so long.
That's awesome.
So that was fantastic. I love being around people again. I really needed that.
Yeah.
But in terms of like moving itself, not very like nothing super noteworthy.
Mm.
What about you?
Um,
For you, that's
well,
like that story's
well,
probably a lot more interesting.
that's,
Oh man, this girl.
I have like 5 roommates, so it's like it's been interesting like getting to meet people like from scratch without like knowing anybody. So we've been getting along, it's been good. The the issue is just like our house. So I live in a house it's been renovated, heavy emphasis on the quote unquote renovated. Yeah. Um, like it's an old house that was renovated for the purpose of like renting to students. So my room, my guess is that it used to be like the living area or like a den sort of thing, but they turned it into a room. So it's the smallest room. Which is like okay, it's not that bad. I guess it's like the size of your standard like freshman dorm.
Like dorm?
It's not too big. But yeah, it's just funny because every so often we just find a weird thing about the house. Like upstairs there are 3 bedrooms, right? And all of the door handles are different ones. Like they're all different door handles. And I think
Interesting.
my roommate next door to me, her door, like you know how there's like 2 sides of a door and like 2 sides of the door handle? One handle is
Oh, is it different door
yeah.
handles?
One side is a round one, and the other side is like the straight door handle, the one that goes up and down.
Although you would pull down?
Yeah, but they're on the same door. It's so
Wait, that's so fun. How does that even work?
I don't know. And then
I mean, as long as the door does its job.
yeah, like it opens and closes, whatever. But like in our kitchen as well, like I'll probably insert images if you're watching on YouTube, but like in the kitchen, the cabinets are tilted, like visibly tilted, um, like horizontally tilted. So it's just it's so funny.
You learn new things about the house every
Yeah, it's
day.
it's lovely, but for the most part, it's been good. Like
Mhm.
I know where everything is
That's
now,
good.
and we have neighbors that are going to the
Hmm.
university in Toronto. Not my university, but yeah, there's fruit flies. A different one.
Nearby one.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like good. We're like settling, I guess.
Yay, that's
Yeah.
good. You've been there for like almost a month now, right?
Yeah, it's been over a month that I've been
Wow.
in Canada, but not a month since I've been in the house. So yeah,
Exciting. Hmm.
it passed so quickly. Like
It does. It really does. Like I literally, like I said that it's like it's been a month, right? And I was like, wait, it's been a month.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like this sounds so mean, but like, is it just me, or do you occasionally forget that like you also have a family at home? Like, you know what I mean?
No, I mean, yeah, I get it. I feel like if any of my family members are watching this, they're gonna be like, but like, no, because like I call them every day, so I feel like that's not like I don't forget that they're there, but I do feel and I feel really bad about this sometimes that like they miss me more than like I miss them. Like obviously I miss them, don't get me wrong. But I think for them it's a little weirder because for me right now I'm in like survival mode, right? Like I'm trying to like cook for myself and do my homework and like settle down and do all these things. And so I'm like so busy adjusting. I almost like don't have time to think about that if that
Mm.
makes sense. Versus for my family back at home, like they're missing a whole person. So it's like that routine that they had going is interrupted. And for me, it's like I'm so busy in my new routine. It's not like dawning on me in the same sense. If that makes sense, like I do miss them. But because I'm so busy with like trying to get my own life together here, it doesn't feel like a routine's being interrupted. I'm just kind of like go, 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 go. And for them, it's probably more like, where'd she go? This person's missing from our house.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah, I feel like that.
What about for you?
Mm, well, like I think my parents are just worried, like because I have like administrative things to do here, like my health insurance, which is whatever, but
Mm,
it's like I think they are also busy just because my siblings are busy. Um and
right.
like my brother is doing his college apps. My other brother started high school. So they're both like,
Oh,
they're
exciting.
both like in these new stages
In
of
transitional phases.
yeah, so it's
Mhm.
I think like because I don't call them every day, like because they're also busy and whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, like figuring out what you have to eat every week is the worst because I'm like I only know default like 5 recipes. I have to like deliberately look
Literally,
up
yeah.
like other stuff. And I can't cook like Filipino food because it's too complex and the ingredients are too specific. So it's like there's no point in buying like I don't know, balsamic vinegar if I'm gonna use it like one time and then like never again.
Like once, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get that. Yeah. Oh, funny story for me. I think if you've been keeping up with
Oh,
my
I,
story, Chelsea, you know where this is
I
going.
yeah.
I tried I tried making Indian food for the first time in my dorm last night. And the cooking itself went well. We had a couple mishaps with the smoke detector, but our smoke detector is just sensitive to literally anything, so we fixed that pretty quick. But I made it, and it tasted good, and I was super happy. However, my entire apartment smells like alulubi right now. There is nothing I can do to get rid of the smell. It's just like it's on the couches, it's on the wall, it's on everything I own. I probably smell like it too when I walk out.
Oh my gosh. You guys don't have like a
It's
hood over the stove or anything?
We do. I kept the vent on the whole
Oh, but it's
time.
still
I left my air purifier running the whole night. I unfortunately can't open my windows to air things out, but I've been keeping like the fan on, the air purifier on. I left the vent on while cooking. I've been using ungodly amounts of Febreze, and everything just still smells like Indian food.
oh my gosh.
It's so annoying.
That's
Oh my god, I literally like my roommate's gone for the weekend, but I literally last night I texted her. I was like, Listen, I tried cooking for the first time, and I'm trying so hard to get rid of the smell. Like, it smells lovely, don't get me wrong. Indian food smells great. It smells great as food. It does not smell great as air freshener.
Right.
I don't want
Right.
my furniture in my room smelling like food. And so, oh man, I text her. I'm like, I'm so sorry if you walk in on Monday and everything still smells like aloo gobi. Like, I did everything in my power to get rid of the smell. Please forgive me. And she's like, this is kind of funny. You're good. I'm like, I'm glad you're okay with it.
Are you okay with it?
I'm struggling right now. Like, as we're speaking, I'm just smelling spices right now.
Oh, still. This was yesterday?
Still, yes, it's still there. This was last night. I
Oh.
left my air purifier running the entire night.
Dang. I don't know what to tell you. Good luck.
I don't know what to tell myself
Good
either.
luck.
We're struggling.
It'll go away eventually.
It'll go away, I
Actually.
think. In like a week or so. Moral of the story, cooking Indian food's a once in a blue moon thing in this apartment.
Yeah. Or yeah, like yeah, I don't like cook complex things just for that purpose, like of the smell. Like potentially traveling because it's so like weird because our air vents are on the floor, like for AC. So like
Uh-huh.
I think things like travel weirdly through the air vent. Like if someone cooks something, like a few minutes later I'll smell it from my vent.
Everyone's smelling it.
It's like it's so weird
Right.
because everything travels through, even like bugs, I think. Because I think like Canada has this, or I guess it's common to have like fruit flies this time of year.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes I'll see fruit flies in my room despite not having like food in my room. And so
Food,
my roommate
right,
was
right.
like, "Yeah, I think they like travel through the air vents." And I was like, "Oh my God. You're
Oh,
probably
fantastic news.
you're
Great to
probably
hear.
right." Which I just thought that was like kind of funny for some reason, but um
Man.
anyway, but hopefully winter will be better, all the bugs will die. We actually get to experience
Yeah.
like a form of winter.
Proper winter.
Yeah,
Exciting.
it's so cool.
If we have a snowpocalypse again, I will too, but let's hope that's not a thing that happens. Because I don't think the power grid can handle
But
it.
it does snow, doesn't it, in Dallas anyway? Like a little bit.
Really? I don't. A little bit, probably. Definitely not like last. Or no, that wasn't last. That was this year?
Oh yeah, the freaking Texas power outage.
This
Yeah,
snowpocalypse?
yeah, that was like
Yeah, well, definitely not like this year.
right.
Right.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Like
But y'all's winter should be exciting. Like, it
um,
does actually snow there, right?
yeah, like everyone around me are like what is it like out of the six of us in the house, two of us have never like experienced like winter. And so even like my cousin
Ooh,
that's
uh-huh.
here, she's like, yeah, it's not that bad here. I was like, what are you talking about? Once it hits below like
What do
32,
you mean it's not that bad?
below like 32, I can't comprehend a temperature that low.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't
No, for real.
I'm so screwed. But anyway.
For real. I remember, like, during the snowpocalypse, it hit, like, negative. I'm not sure if it was, like, -2 or -5, but it was something. No, it was -8. I remember now. Yeah, no, it was, like, some obscene negative Fahrenheit temperature. And we were like, what is this? Like, is this.
Oh my God.
Is this a real number that can show up on a thermostat?
Yeah, it's like what
Cold.
even like winter clothes and whatever I still have to like figure out. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
what do you even I don't even know. I have nothing like
What do you wear for that
I have
weather?
nothing for that time of year. Like I think it's like right now
Mm-hmm.
it's already at a point where like the highs are like in the 70s. So if
Wait, that's so nice. Our highs are consistently in like 97,
oh
98, 99.
yeah, dude. So yeah, like we're both screwed, but like in
That
different
sounds
ways.
lovely.
So
In different
like,
ways, just like on opposite ends of the spectrum. Oh, girl, let me tell you about the heat. Ugh.
97. Mm-mm. That's
Yeah, no.
it's terrible.
But you were saying 70s. I'll get into my like it's too hot to survive rant in a little bit,
No,
but
I mean that's all my I guess my train of thought is like that it's only gonna get colder from here. So
okay. Good
yeah,
luck.
but
We'll be complaining about different weather patterns from opposite ends
I can't wait.
of not opposite ends of the globe. What am I saying? We're still on the same end of the globe,
Yeah,
but from different latitudes, I guess.
yeah.
There we go. But oh my goodness, the heat. So, funny story, I literally have to wear a jacket in my own apartment now because my brain thinks that 75 degrees is cold.
Oh no, like I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's because okay, here's another thing. Our apartment, like the where I live right now, is like a solid like 15-minute walk to campus. Or it's like a solid 15-minute walk from campus. So to and from campus, I have to walk 15 minutes at least to get to where I'm trying to go, which is a problem because it is like 97 degrees consistently, right? So I feel like okay, I still hate the heat. Don't get me wrong. Like this is pain. This is suffering. I literally can't rewear any of my shirts because I walk out once and I become a walking bucket of sweat, and then I have to come back and throw them in the wash because they're gross and I can't rewear them. So it's hot. This is pain. This is suffering. But my body is also like weirdly accustomed to the temperature now. So now when I go, like me and my friends, we go for like nighttime walks sometimes, right? Because that's the only time the weather's bearable. It's still like 90 degrees. I'm over here like, oh, it's nice and cool. And I check the thermostat and it's like 91. Huh? Like, what?
Oh my god.
You know how bad the weather has to be for me to think that 90 degrees is nice and cool?
That's so terrible. Oh
Insanity.
my
And I'm over
god.
here in my own apartment, like 75 degrees in the thermostat and wearing a jacket because 75 degrees is now cold to me.
Mm-hmm.
Insanity. Someone please tell the corporations to stop polluting. This isn't right.
Dude, that's insane.
Please.
Like,
It is.
I mean, it's mostly like that every year, but like, I can't.
I feel like it's just getting worse.
No, yeah, it
Or
is
maybe
for
because
sure.
I don't know. I never had to like leave the house in Houston, so maybe that just wasn't a problem for me.
Right. Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, because in high school, right, like, we we didn't really have to walk anywhere. Um,
go outside anyway.
but yeah,
Yeah.
like, in Canada, it was like, when I first got here, it was like high 80s, which like ordinarily I could stand outside
Mm-hmm.
and be like, okay, like this is what it's like in Texas. But yeah, once you start walking, it's
Mm-hmm.
so terrible. Like I can't imagine like 90,
Really?
like 90.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my
because it's
god.
still like hot. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just you can't bundle up or you just have to
That's the thing. Yeah, that's my thing. Every time someone says like, "Oh, I prefer hot weather to cold
oh,
weather," I
dumb.
just don't understand it because like with hot weather, there's nothing you can do. Like, yes, you can wear less, but you're still hot. Like when you're cold, at least you can put on like a jacket or like a scarf. Like you can make yourself warm. When it's hot, it's just hot. There's nothing you can do.
It's just gross. Like once it gets to
Mm-hmm.
a certain point, like and you're walking, that's like a totally different story when you're doing physical activity in the heat, opposed to like sitting in a classroom.
Oh, girl, I didn't even try
And
that
also like high
for
school
real.
was just very cold inside, so when you came out of the school, it wasn't that hot. Like so,
You're like thawing. There's no sweat. You're just defrosting.
defrosting. Yes. Um.
Yep. Are we ready for our question segment? I guess.
Yeah, but I guess before we do, we already kind of stated our album of the week, but yeah, while I'm editing, I will like put a song. I don't know which one. I'm probably just gonna pick. I'm gonna pick a song in between this segment
Okay.
here. So if you're on Anchor or Spotify, that song will play for you. But if you are somewhere else where that just doesn't play, or if you're on YouTube, now we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get into our like deep questions with friends or random questions with friends.
Questions
Questions with friends.
with friends.
There. Okay, I literally have to look up this website again. Okay.
Question. Oh my god, it's been so long.
Oh my gosh.
since we've
Um,
used this website. My Chrome no longer remembers what it
it
is.
says the last time I visited it was in June. So,
Oh my
oh my god.
goodness.
I don't think that
All
was
right.
our last episode, but I guess that's the last time we used this. So-
Right, yeah, yeah. Because last time our question was, what's the object directly in front of you?
Mhm.
I do remember that.
When we were like, I don't know, the computer, because we're talking to each other.
Yeah.
Um, okay.
Oh man, fun times. All right, so do you have a question?
I do, but it's depressing. Um,
Okay, I can ask mine. I think this one's pretty
okay.
interesting. Okay, so assuming evolution is correct, do you think that if humans went extinct, another species as intelligent as humans would evolve? If life exists long enough on a planet, is intelligence and consciousness inevitable?
Uh, well, like the thing,
It's kind of like multi-part question, but
or well, the thing about like the human intelligence thing is that like we measure other beings by our standards, which isn't correct, really.
mm-hmm.
Like instead of saying like dolphins are objectively smart by human standards, but by animal standards, who
Right.
knows? They could actually be stupid. We don't know, right? Or like chickens, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think
What a way to
I've
say
brought this
that.
up like twice in the past, but like chickens could be very advanced in their own communal like structures. Like
Chicken
how do we
wing.
know, right? Like I don't think that's like up for us to
Right.
determine, but um
Mm-hmm.
what the last question was like if intelligence is like uh, inevitable.
So if life exists long enough on a planet, is intelligence and consciousness inevitable?
But I don't think like intelligence or well, intelligence is like born somewhat like from survival. So as things evolve, they have
Mm-hmm.
to adapt to survive. Like the human who invented fire,
Right.
right? That was like for survival. They might have been considered intelligent at the time. And even now, like just conventional
Mm-hmm.
intelligence is like what'll help you survive like in a corporate environment or like society or whatever. So yeah,
Society.
like it's bound to happen, like at some point, if that's what intelligence is.
Right. Mm-hmm. I think, yeah, I pretty much agree with your answer for the most part. For one, yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm reading a book called Project Hail Mary. And it is so good because I don't know, it's about like the whole idea of like alien life and like, life beyond Earth. And I just think it's like so well explained. Like the author does such a good job um, kind of finding these discrepancies in like okay, how do I want to put this? But basically, yeah. So basically, it deals with like alien life, and there's like two main like aliens in the book, alien species, right? And so one of them is like single-celled, like bacteria, like in the same way that we see it on Earth. Um, and so there's that, and then there's like another intelligent being, like Earth's beings, right? And I think he just did such a good job, like explaining, how because of like math and like these general rules of like physics and stuff, it's like even though the alien species and like the human species operated on different number systems and stuff like that, there was still a lot of similarity because at least like those laws of physics, the mathematical rules, they all still are like universal in that sense, right? So I just thought the book was really cool because it did a great job kind of explaining how two different life forms can still have so many similarities in their like intelligence, and also I'm not going to spoil it actually if anyone wants to read it, but there's this one thing where it's like humans are like really behind in one sense, and then the aliens are kind of really behind in like another sense, and so it's like while they're both intelligent species, um, there's like discrepancies or like holes in the intelligences of both. And so I agree with what you said, where it's like we can't measure intelligence from a human metric because other things just evolve differently and their circumstance leads them to different intelligences, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, plural. So yeah, I agree in that sense. And I also do agree that like, if life exists on a planet for long enough, then yeah, and I feel like intelligence and consciousness are inevitable because, I mean, why not, right? Like, we have it. Why wouldn't someone else?
Yeah, that's true.
The universe is infinite. It could, like, why wouldn't it be replicated?
Mm-hmm.
All right, your turn.
This question is depressing. Like, should I just read it anyway, or? It's not.
If you want a new question, you could choose it.
It's not depressing, but anyway, no, it makes me sad.
Okay, let's not.
This one says, when was the last time you remember someone doing or saying something so stupid that you were sure it was a joke?
I actually don't know. I feel like.
I mean,
do you have an answer to this?
This isn't really saying something, but we were like, or my roommates and I were sitting in the kitchen the other day, and we were like, I don't know how we got to this point, but oh no, so one of my roommates was like, okay, well, the premise is that like Drake lives in Toronto, right? And like apparently some of his staff or some kind of promotion staff was like, they were going around distributing t-shirts in Toronto. So that was the premise of this, and my roommate one day was like, I'm gonna go to Drake's house to see if he's there. And we were all like, okay, cool.
I mean,
like, go ahead.
You go do that, bestie.
She actually went, and she didn't meet Drake, but it was just such an interesting experience. But anyway, like, I think it kind of like spiraled like our conversation, and eventually we saw like Drake's album cover, like the current one, the one that just came out, and I was like, there's no way this is like the real album cover. And then the album dropped, and it was the real album cover, and that's all I have to say about it. It's certainly an album cover.
It caught my attention.
Yeah.
So I guess in that sense it worked.
Yeah.
But thinking. No, yeah, I don't think I have an answer to this that's not like depressing. So if you want to ask me another question, we could do that, or
you can ask a question if you want.
I don't know. I can move on. Okay. Yeah, I feel like all of my answers to that question have something to do with the current climate and people's opinions.
Yes.
We're not going to dive into that for my own sanity. Okay. Let me see if I can find one that I like. Okay, when was the last time you felt completely out of the loop?
I don't know if this counts as like being out of the loop, but like because the drinking age and like you can also buy weed here. Like I think like it's just so weird because
it's a culture shock for
like,
sure.
At first, my roommates, like, we went to the like liquor. It's not a liquor store, but like a store where you can buy alcohol. And I went in there to buy a beer, but I bought the beer so I could make bread with it. But like the fact that I could go in and buy a beer was so like weird to me because I was like
jarring. I'm sure.
I like mentally prepared myself to drink or buy alcohol like when I'm 21. Even though like I knew the drinking age here is 19, it's still like really weird.
Right. It just doesn't feel right.
It's
yeah,
so
no,
weird.
I totally get what
and,
you
like,
mean.
Also because like nightlife here is very much, it's very active because obviously like if like students can drink now, right? Like the drinking age is lower.
Right. And it's a major city.
Yeah, so it's like it's definitely weird coming from a suburb where there's not much to do. We live in the same general area. There's not much to do.
Yeah. There's not much
even
to
if
do.
you drive out really far, like the marginal benefit is like kind of low.
Right.
But, yeah, it's like weird because I've heard in college, you know, that people drink. I hear in college that people do certain things, which like, you know, it's not a judge of your character. It's just something you do. Some people do it.
Right.
It's like weird seeing it in real life. It feels so weird. Because I'm very much not into that
stuff. Right. It's like, oh, is this happening?
Yeah, like
no, I totally
I'm like not
get
into
that.
that stuff. So it's weird because I don't like derive pleasure or fun from that. Like I was drinking water at a bar. It was weird. But Yeah, I think that's like my answer.
That's fair. I think for me it was just like the pandemic in general.
Oh,
Like
that too.
not not in like a, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain what I mean. But like in the beginning it was chill because it was still like new, right? Like we were all kind of in this together. But then like as it became like I think as the pandemic progressed, I just like as a person started feeling more and more out of it. Like this is a super like sad answer, I'm sorry, but like I mentioned like I was super happy to like meet people, right? For like the first time in a really long time at that event that I went to, right? And I think half the reason I was so excited about that was because like I don't know, because of the pandemic, it's like you're stuck in one place, you're kind of just stuck with your thoughts like all the time. I was like feeling less like a person, if that makes sense. Like I was just like a little tub of thoughts
Yeah.
sitting in my room and like rotting. And it's like I think in that sense I felt really, really out of the loop during the pandemic. And even now, it's like it's getting better now that I can socialize, but I'm just so ready for this to end because the whole experience was just very like I don't know.
Dissociative, kind
Yeah,
of?
like I guess. Yeah, I don't want to use that term like loosely because it is like an actual medical
Oh,
term.
right, right.
But like, yeah, in that sense, it's like, yeah, it's just like I don't know. Like I was just with my thoughts all the time and like I wasn't meeting with actual people and stuff. It just did not feel like a person for like a really long time. So
Mm,
in that sense, I felt very out of the loop during the pandemic.
I get that, yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's to the point where like I'm very existential now. Like sometimes I have like an out
No,
of body like,
can
oh
I
wait,
please
that's
stop
me.
thinking?
Like I'm existing in this moment, like my physical body. And it's like it's I don't know how to describe it. It's so like
Right.
um because yeah, I feel like it's kind of the opposite for me. Like when I do socialize, I feel like I'm separate from because I'm used to being alone with my thoughts. Like I'm a more introverted person. I guess I don't like thrive as much on
Mm-hmm.
social interaction as much. So it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like now that I'm doing it, it's like, oh, I'm here.
Oh, it's like weird
Yeah,
again
like
now.
it's so weird.
Right.
But I try not to think about it too much because I feel
Interesting.
like
Me
it's
too.
like kind of damaging the more I
Right. It's
become
like some things
conscious.
are worth dwelling on, some
Yeah,
things.
it's
Right.
we don't really need that, you know. It's too much.
Yeah. I don't need an extra problem. I'm not gonna make anything.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Um
Well, I think those were some pretty deep questions. These are the first time we did like decently thought-provoking
yeah.
questions. I hope you'll enjoy that. But um, shall I say the outro now?
Honestly, we don't really need the outro. We've been winging it every time. So,
Yeah. Okay. So, well, hi. Thank you for watching, listening, whatever else you've been doing for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like, please feel free to follow us on our socials. It's at Armbridge Podcast on Instagram and at Armbridge Pod on Twitter. We don't really use the Twitter, but you know, it's there. Um, and then also, of course, be sure to follow us, follow our podcast on Spotify. I don't know if it's like follow, subscribe, whatever, on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, not Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Anchor. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. You know, all that, right? Whatever. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you next week.
bye.
Bye. Goodbye.